Hi, I'm Dia and you guys are watching Dianosaur. It's been a while since I made a video. Actually, I made a video on 26th. That was the last video that I published. And but other than that and one other video, there has been no other video on my channel since the new year started. And I mean, it's not that I didn't want to make a video, it's that I felt like, I I didn't have any ideas on what to make and all that. And I know that there's this, when the year ends, there are all these best of the worst of the and all these things that you can make like easy content. But for some reason I was feeling very overwhelmed by the entire video making process. and I and also I was in a slump, and like my cousin's wedding was there, and like things were crazy. And I was like, one thing has to go, and my YouTube channel, should be that one thing that I will put on pause for the while. And yeah, I was on pause. And I mean, you won't believe me, I I have been doing this for a while, right? Like I'm used to the camera, I'm used to sitting here and talking to the camera, not without, not in front of people, but in front of a camera. And I'm used to it. Uh I'm used to giving presentations and all that stuff. So it has made me okay, you get the point. I'm used to speaking to a camera. But when I had to make that last video, that review video, I was so scared. It was making me like I was getting cold feet thinking about the entire thing. That oh my god, I would have to sit in front of the camera. I would have to talk about the book. What will I talk about? And I I really liked the book, but for some reason I didn't have many thoughts about the book. Usually when it's the first book in a series, you can talk about the setting, the characters and everything uh, a bit more with like you can talk about it a bit more than you can talk about a second book in the series, which I was reviewing. The book I was reviewing was second in the series. So I mean, I couldn't go deep into the character work, or I couldn't go deep into the setting, I couldn't go deep into the plot or anything else. I was like, shit, like, what am I gonna talk about? And still, found something to talk about and I made the video. But I still felt so bad that I couldn't give my 100% into that video. Like, because I was so scared of making the video, I was like, okay, I'll just do it, in one try, and whatever I end up with, that's gonna be the final product. Instead of, like doing a practice one and making a script and all that, I didn't do any of that. I just sat in front of the camera and I just blabbered about the book. So, yeah, I mean, if you have been wondering where I have been, I also posted a short. Again, is it, what should I say? I posted a short or a shorts? I posted a short. Yeah, that sounds better. Anyway, I posted a short talking about imposter syndrome, about how I was feeling that everyone else who is doing this thing, doing booktube, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing. I feel like I am this, imposter, this person who's faking it, and I don't know anything about books. I don't know how to critically analyze books and all that, and still I'm like, okay, give me attention, give me your time, and all those things. Just for what? Just for my ego satisfaction? I don't know. So that was something that was making me feel really bad about making videos about, like, I was questioning, like, why am I doing this? And then I realized that I have that kind of a reaction to everything that I do. So when I was doing PhD, I was going through the existential crisis of, like, why am I doing PhD? Like, there are so many other people who are better qualified to do this job than I am, and they should be doing it. And that way, I kind of self sabotaged, and I dropped out of PhD, and all that stuff happened. Anyway, all this is to tell you that I have not been in a great place mentally, and that's why there have been, so few videos on my channel. And I think I'm doing better now. Like, I have finished a book. Uh, so last month I finished, like, one was a carryover from 2022. Then there were one other book, two other book, and one novella or short story, whatever you call it. So yeah, so those were the, like, I read one, two, three and a half. Let's call it 3.5 books. I read 3.5 books last month. So anyway, the book I finished recently, we are gonna talk about that, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I don't know how to say the first name, Stieg or Stieg or Stag. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I am doing better now. I feel like it. I'm gonna finish another book soon, and I'll do a review on that video, on that book, and all that. Like, so The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So something. It's called, the genre in which it falls is called Nordic noir, and it's kind of, a subgenre in the mystery thriller entire umbrella. It's a subgenre, and it's basically, the story is about this investigative journalist, Mikhail Blomkvist, and this girl who is a researcher. She is a hacker, basically, called Lisbeth Salander, and how they stumble upon this case, and how they work together, and how they, solve it. Basically, it's, a mystery. So this rich old dude, he kind of hires Mikhail Blomkvist to solve this age old family mystery, and he gets sucked into it, and he thinks that it's, like, not very, it's kind of trivial or something like that, but it's not. It turns out to be very, very, it's a huge thing. And in the process of solving that, he comes across Lisbeth Salander, and they team up and they solve the mystery. So yeah, that's basically what you need to know about the story. What I am gonna talk about is how, when the book came out, people were like, "Oh my God, Lisbeth Salander is this, like, top tier character that, has never existed before, and she is this feminist hero and all that." And you can, like, you get the picture. So I read the book with this kind of a preconceived notion that, it's gonna be very, like, women empowerment kind of a thing, and this Swiss Lander will be this feminist hero. But it's not that. I mean, what I read, what my experience was, it I got something very different from the story than what was advertised all these years. So this one came out in 2009, I think, and it was very popular at that time when I was in school. And I wanted to read this book when I was in school, but I didn't like I didn't have access to, bookstores and all that. I didn't have my own money. I was broke. And so I couldn't buy it and read it. So I read it after all these years, and all these years of, like pent up excitement, the hype, and everything that it had. While reading it, I was like, where is this, feminist hero hiding? Like, I was told it was something, and I'm not getting that from the book. So, what I felt is that the characters were very bland and very, like a cardboard cutout kind of a thing. So, they didn't feel like three dimensional, they felt very, very, flat. And I they did questionable stuff, which, I mean, I get it. Like, it's a noir, so people will be doing questionable stuff. You won't have, good versus evil or something like that. Like, you will have shades of gray, and your main character will be, not a good character. They will be kind of like morally gray character. So, I get that. I get that they will make choices that I won't make necessarily and that I won't support. So I get that point, but still, I mean, I didn't see what made people think that Elizabeth Salander was a feminist hero, because she is first and foremost a survivor, and she is out there only for herself. Like, she is not uh looking out for other people. So she is, this lonesome person, and like, she is a solitary person, and she likes staying, alone on her own. And she hates when people meddle in her life and try to tell her things and try to, get her to do things that they want her to do. And she hates that, which is fine. And I I mean, she did things that was kind of like went against what someone who is touted a feminist hero would do. And okay, I'll put spoilers down below, because I'm gonna talk about spoilers now. So she basically, all the evidence she got of the heinous crimes that this guy committed, she basically destroyed all the evidence of that. And she was like, don't call the police, don't tell them about this thing and all that. So if you are someone who is looking after their fellow, women, and trying to, uh look out for, I mean, basically, if you are someone who has others needs in their mind, who puts others before themselves, they would have thought about the victims and their families first, and not about how this is going to affect them. Basically, Elizabeth got rid of all the evidence because she didn't want to, she hates police, and she didn't want to get involved in all the police procedures and everything, because she has a very complicated history with law enforcement, and she didn't want to get involved. And that is completely understandable. But the things she did, the way she got rid of the evidence, and the way she was like, this didn't happen, and uh, we won't tell the police what happened and all that, that is not someone who is thinking about other people would do. That is something a very selfish person would do. And that is fine. Like, you can have a selfish person, like, as a character, as your main character. I don't have a problem with that. But masquerading someone as this hero or something like that, while they are doing such weird stuff like getting rid of evidence, I don't support that. And also, I feel that Elizabeth was very, the way, her character was made, it was kind of like a manic pixie goth girl kind of a thing. So, what do I mean by manic pixie goth girl? So, you know the term manic pixie dream girl, right? So, manic pixie dream girl is this like idea of a woman that a man has that will cater to all his needs but will also be uh you know uh fulfill all these criteria, like she'll be fun, she'll be flirty but not too much flirty. She'll be, like she won't have problems of her own, or even if she has problems of her own, it's just there to make her seem deep or something like that. Like basically a guy's fantasy. Elizabeth felt like a guy's fantasy to me. So instead of, like, okay, you can have a character who is, insecure, very insecure internally, but shows off a tough exterior and all that. You can have a character like that. But the author here tried to make Lisbeth into this, not like other girls kind of a character. She is punk, she has weird hair, piercings, five tattoos, like, you know, like what makes a person different from other people? Five tattoos and face piercings. Anyway, uh, okay, one other thought struck. I'll come to it later on. So she is this, like very different from the norm kind of a person. But she deep inside she wants, male validation. She is like, okay, this person, he treated me like a human being. It's like someone treated me like a human being for the first time, and I'll fall in love with that person. So that's what happened in the book. Mikhail Blomkvist, he was like, okay, like I respect your boundaries and all that, and you do your own thing, I'll do my own thing, and we'll help each other out and all that. And she's like, oh my god, like, no one else, no other guy has been like this. I'm so angry at him because he makes me feel like this. uh I am in love with him and all that. And she basically, like, she is very jealous of his relationship with his FWB Erica. And the first time she met Erica, she was like, I want to harm this person physically. And that is not, I mean, that is not a feminist hero. She can, like, I don't know, but that doesn't make someone a very idealistic person or something like that. She can be, complex. She can be someone who is, uh, all these things, like she is insecure inside and wants to be like a girly girl, but she thinks that, uh, you know, she won't be able to be that kind of a person. So she will portray this, she will show this facade to other people so that it, acts as a barrier so that no one will come close to her or something like that. You can have a character like that, but that character won't be a very compelling character because it has been done to death a lot. So the other thought that came to my mind right now was that maybe at that point when it was released, this, tattoos and piercings and those kind of hair, mohawk and everything, the punk appearance, it was not that common. It became common afterwards, and because we have been sensitized to, like, desensitized and all that, because we have been desensitized and all that, maybe that's why I'm not getting the feeling of, oh my god, she's so different. So that might be another factor. It's about, it, like, it hasn't aged well. So that's what I feel, that at that time maybe it felt fresh and revolutionary, but now it doesn't feel that fresh. And that is exactly what my sister had to say about Gone Girl, that because she has read and watched so many, Gone Girl ripoffs and all that throughout years, when she actually watched Gone Girl, she was not impressed. And she was like, I've seen this before. I've seen this thing being done to death. So maybe that is what is happening to me. Maybe. I don't know. So anyway, I felt, and yeah, another thing that irked me a lot was that our main character, Mikhail Blomkvist, every girl, every woman he met, like they were like, you are. I was gonna sing the Backstreet Boys song. You are my fire, the one desire. Anyway, oh my god, what is this video turning into? So, yeah, Mikhail Blomkvist, every woman he met, every woman he came into contact with, they were like, oh my god, just take me right here, right now on this table. Like, I mean, and also, what I read about is that the author was also a investigative journalist, and the main character sort of like, from reading the book you get the feeling that he is a stand-in for the author. So it's kind of like this childish fantasy that, oh my god, this guy who is modeled after me, he is so good, like so handsome and so hot, that every woman he comes across, they are like, oh my god, just Ra- just take me here. I can't be too explicit because children might watch this. Although I doubt anyone watches my videos. So anyway, so that was, I mean, like what? So yeah. What else? What else? So do I have anything else to talk about? I don't know. Yeah, that's all. That's all I have to talk about. Actually, I'm on Sarah's Discord, and they have this channel called Book Rant, and I ranted over there one day. Uh, I mean, the day I finished the book, I ranted over there. So all my, like everything that was built up inside, it has been spent. So I don't have much to talk about right now, and that's why I'm like, blanking out on what else to talk about. So I just wanted to show you two books that I got recently. Oh my god, what is this video? Like, what am I gonna give? What title am I gonna give this video? Not life update, not book discussion, not book haul, all three in one. So this is, what the fuck was that? Anyway, this is Philip Donovan, knocks him dead, knocks him dead. Yeah, Philip Donovan, and I got this. This is the sequel to Philip Donovan, the first Philip Donovan book. So this is a sequel, and I'm planning to read it this spring. And the other book that I have is, finally, finally. I mean, the story behind it is that, first of all, it was exorbitantly priced. Like, it was 1500 or something on Amazon. Then one day I discovered that when you click on the Kindle one and then click on the this thing, like when you click it a number of times, it shows a different value, different price, and that was a bit lower. And I had ordered it last year, but somehow they gave me a different book instead of the actual one, so I ended up returning it. I ordered it again, and so it got returned. And now, finally, the third time, I finally bought it. So Shadow of the Gods, I'm gonna start today, and after I finish the Beast Hunters Dark Sovereign, and yeah, so that's it. That's what I've been up to. And if you have watched till here, like, I mean, oh my god, like, unless you're a stalker, like, no one would watch till here. Like, I've talked for, like, I don't know, half an hour or something. If you somehow end up at this point in my video and you are not asleep, you are not, held at gunpoint and being showed this video, and if you're not a stalker, then please like, comment, share, subscribe. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.